Okay, so I'm gonna let this music play out for a second because it's so soothing, but it is 7 o'clock, so I want to get started right at the top of the hour. That's enough of the music. Well, welcome everybody. I have to tell you, I'm laughing on the other side of this Zoom call because I just poured my drink that I was going to share with everybody during the sip and sale, and it was a mandarin orange drink. So I thought it would come out orange because I wanted to do an orange drink for Halloween. And as you see, it's clear, but it's going to have to do. At least I'll be tasting a little bit of orange when we do our toast later on in the evening. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. So I just wanted to say to everybody that tonight we're going to be here enjoying a fun Zoom event that will allow you to learn about and book a spot on our 2024 Halloween river cruise through Central Europe with land extension in Romania to celebrate Halloween at Dracula's castle in Transylvania and see all of the medieval fortresses and castles that Romania has to offer. We also have an additional land extension in Budapest for those who just haven't had enough after Romania and the 5-country river cruise. So please be aware that this is a Zoom event to talk about a real life tour. It is not a virtual tour, so it is specifically to discuss the opportunities to book this river cruise and land extension. So if you are here for a virtual tour, you can, say goodbye and log off, and that's fine. We completely understand, no worries. And we will catch you on another evening for a virtual tour. So this is a Zoom webinar format for those of you who aren't used to it. We don't see you or your video or your microphone. They are off. You can use the chat, and actually I would love you all to chat where you're from right now, just so we know that you can find the chat mechanism so that you can use it, because we are going to need that for some of our prizes that we're going to be giving away. So if you don't mind, share with us where you're from. I see people from all over the United States right now, and actually some of our northern friends from Canada as well. So it's nice to see everybody come out. I actually see a lot of people from my region. There's a lot of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, a lot of Canadians. So welcome, welcome. We have people all the way from the west coast of Washington to the east coast of the New Jersey shore. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to dive right in, if it's okay with all of you. Looks like, and I'm going to ask my two partners in crime, Georgiana and Kathy, to just turn on their videos so that we can all see one another. But I am here with my two travel partners, which are my my two vendors or suppliers that we're using for this wonderful journey. So let's see. I have I guess there's about 50 to 75 people online right now, and I expect more to join. There will be 3 of us presenting today. Georgiana, that most of you may know from our virtual tour series all the way from Romania, and Kathy, who's here from Amawaterways today. We're so excited to have both of them here, and I truly appreciate the time that you're willing to share with my travelers so that they can better understand the opportunity in front of them. We're so excited to share the details of the Romanian land tour with Georgiana and the 5 countries river cruise with Kathy. Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia, and Hungary will be all visited on the river cruise. So we're thrilled to move forward with that. Before we get started, as I often do, I want to do a little fun drawing. This is a door prize. So these are some travel essentials that I always carry with me when I'm leaving for a tour, especially international tour. So I thought I would gift one of each of these to some of the people that are online right now. So if you don't mind, what I've done, instead of putting all your names in, I've put numbers in, and right now we have 50 people online. We have 51 people online. I'm going to add a 51, and I'm going to share my screen with you to do a drawing, and then I'm going to tell you which number corresponds to which person, if you understand that. And then hopefully if you're here and you acknowledge that, if you could just give me a shout out on the chat to make sure that, sorry, you're going to see a little bit of weirdness before I set this up, but so that you can see. Okay, so it's going to go across and tell us who the winner is. This is for number 1, the luggage scale, and it's number 21. Number 21 in our attendance list is Laurel Harrison. So Laurel Harrison, you are our first winner, and you will need to send me your physical address so that I can send you that gift. Number 2 is a new item on most of our travel list, which is an air tag, because we have all learned during the pandemic, the airlines have gotten a little bit bad about getting our luggage to our location with our person. So many of us have added air tags into our luggage to make sure that we can track them and know where they're going to be. So I'm going to spin again for another winner. Oh, we've got number 40. Number 40 is Nancy Lyons. So Nancy Lyons, you get an air tag. If you could send me your physical address, I'd be happy to send you that as well. And then for our last prize, it's a adapter. It's a universal adapter. It works in any country you go to. It's very compact. It's really great. I use it all the time. And I'd like to share that gift with number 48, who is Shelly Costello. So Shelly, you are the winner. I'm sorry, I have to write them down because I'll never remember this. And then I'll be going back through the recording to try to figure out who to send these to. So just make sure any of you guys, you can send me your, I see that some of you are chatting it. You can chat your address or you can email it to me, either way. But so that's a fun way to get started. So let me go back to my, sorry, you're going to see a little bit of this while I put you back on to the, of course, it's not going to want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to share the presentation with you again, and hopefully Georgiana and Kathy, you can give me a thumbs up that you're seeing the presentation properly. Great, I love it. You know, when you have dual screens, I have 2 monitors. It's very hard sometimes because Zoom likes to pick up one or the other without telling you. So it's nice that the right one is showing. So, you know, so what we're going to cover tonight, we're going to talk about who we are, the 3 of us, what we're going, where we're going, and how we're going to get there, and who we're going to be with when we get there. Our land travel partners, which is Romanian Thrills. Our cruise travel partners, which is the wonderful Amawaterways. What's included and what's not in our travel program. And then we're going to hopefully give a little toast, reserve a little spot, and have some fun tonight. So let's dive right in. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I probably think that most of you know who I am at this point because you've come to join me on this adventure. But anyway, you know, my name is Mara Walsh. I am a travel agent. I am a group leader, and I am by far a travel enthusiast, right? So I spend my time either planning travel, being on tour, or dreaming of travel, and trying to find ways to make all of the people who come with me fall in love with travel as much as I do, so that we continue to have those adventures together. It's something I can't even explain. It gives me an energy and brings life into me that I have just been so fortunate to be able to feel. So what are some of my traits that you would be interested in? I am extremely organized. So when we're talking about putting a tour together and making sure that everybody's prepared for a tour, that is some of my superpowers. I have an endless amount of energy. I advocate for my travelers at all costs, with all suppliers and with all tour operators. And I am a little bit of fun. I'm not too much fun, but I am a little bit of fun. And I definitely do have a lot of fun with my travelers. And And I do own a company called Girl Travel Tours. Girl Travel Tours started years ago when I took Girl Scouts and their families on tour, but it has grown into a program where I do a lot of adult tours. But because the name is so synonymous with my name, Mara Walsh, and Girl Travel Tours, it really has stuck, even though we are a very inclusive tour group. So if you are a man, you are absolutely welcome. And I always like to say you're a man enough to travel with Girl Travel Tours. So please know that everybody is welcome to travel with us. Somehow these don't like to flip as much as I like to flip them. So sometimes I have to hit it 3 and 4 times to get it to go. So where are we going on this tour? I'll give you the cruise segment. The cruise segment is October 28th through November 4th, 2024. So we're talking about 2 years almost from now. We have a wonderful 7-day pre-tour in Romania. The highlight of that tour for most in terms of promotion is celebrating Halloween at Dracula's castle. But I assure you, when you come back, you're going to remember so many other spots in Romania that you're just not familiar with yet, but are going to win your heart then. And then we also have a 2-day post tour with another one of our guides, who is Andrea McKay, who most of you may be familiar with from our virtual tours as well. So the fascinating thing about this tour to me, or one of the fascinating things, especially for those that like to count their countries, is it is a tour that hits so many countries without traveling a huge distance. And I think that's a really fun and amazing fact, because usually when you do your Trek bus tours across Europe, you're traveling a lot of ground to hit so many countries. But in this Central European area, especially traveling on a river cruise, you can really visit a lot of different countries and get to a lot of different cultures through one vehicle. It's really great. So as I said, we have 2 great travel partners. Amawaterways is my go-to river cruise provider. They are what I would call my preferred provider. I always choose Amawaterways because they are the highest quality luxury brand river cruise out there. And I know from personal experience that their service is spectacular, and to me, not achievable by any of the other partners that I've used. They also care deeply about the people who travel with them, as well as all of the people who service us while we travel. They have twin balcony ships, which is very unique to them. They have amazing cuisine and activities and many inclusions that a lot of the other companies may not have, and they never disappoint. So I really put it out there for you to join me on one of these Amawaterways river cruises, because they are spectacular. And my travel partner in Romania is also one of my very good friends right now, Georgiana and Vlad from Romanian Thrills. Many of us have gotten to know both of them over the past few years during COVID on the virtual tours, and now we get to experience a real life tour with them. I am thrilled to be able to be in person with both of them in the future. So I think that we all look forward to that as well. And I'm going to invite Georgiana on the screen first to go over the Romanian Thrills part of the journey, because that's where we start. We start with 7 days in Romania. And then once Georgiana has kind of guided us through that itinerary, talk to us about our inclusions, we'll then hand it over to Kathy, who will do the same for the Amawaterways portion. So Georgiana, if you're ready, I'm going to actually have to push these slides through for you. You can give me some help, but it's all yours, and you can come on, and I'll mute myself so that you can have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to be here tonight with you. It is a little bit late where I'm from, but nevertheless, I am happy to present this tour for you. As Mara said, it has been a very long time coming, and I'm so excited to see so many of you interested in taking this tour with us. So I will go over our land itinerary. First of all, we've done recently a Halloween virtual tour, which kind of sums it up in more detail if you're curious, but this is our itinerary for those 8 days in Romania. So first of all, we are going to go through some of the most important castles that we have here, some of the most important fortresses, and of course, the main reason why you will be traveling to Transylvania is the Halloween party at Bran Castle. I have to tell you, I participated this year and it was the first party after 3 years of pandemic, and it was absolutely incredible. So I think it will just only get better and better and better year after year. But let's go a little bit through, for example, what accommodations we offer, because that's okay. I saw you, Mara, no, but that's okay. Yes, you have here a few examples of the accommodation where we're going to be staying at. But it's important for you to understand that we like to show to our travelers authentic Romania. So we strive to only work with boutique accommodation that are family owned or that have some charm or personality or something unique to offer. So all of the accommodations will be either the ones that you see now in the photos, but of course, depending on the size of the group, these might change. However, all of them have been tested by us, and we vouch for their level of service, for their level of comfort, and for the experience that they offer at the end. Because we don't only want to offer you bed and breakfast. It's also about the experience that embodies all of the activities and the comfort of your sleeping. We can move towards our first day, I think, Mara. The next slide. There we go. So first day when you arrive, it'll be 21st of October. You will be arriving in Bucharest. Now, Bucharest is the capital of Romania. The picture that you're looking at right now is actually a photo of the Palace of the Parliament, which is the heaviest building in the world and the second biggest after the Pentagon in the United States. We will provide private transfer from the airport to all of our travelers, and you will be dropped off at the hotel, which is included in your stay here. After you get picked, the other slide, that's okay, it's okay. After you check in at the hotel, we would like to welcome you for a welcome dinner, which is also part of the package, where we all get to meet each other. We go through the itinerary together and through all of the activities, and we promise to make it very fun. Now we can move on to the second slide. This slide is about Poinar Castle, which is actually day 3 of your itinerary, because on day 2, it's the first official day in Bucharest. So we do have 1 day of arrival, which is saved just for your airport transfer and welcome dinner. Then we do a tour of the Palace of the Parliament, which you've seen in the previous slide. And then on day 3, we transfer from Bucharest to Poinar Castle, which is your first stop in Transylvania, but it's almost Transylvania. We're not in Transylvania yet. We are just barely making it through the mountains on our way to Transylvania. But this will be our first stop, because this is actually the real lair of Vlad the Impaler. Now, I don't want to spoil all of the surprises, because I know most of you, everyone knows Bran Castle is the real Dracula's castle. You will find all the myths and legends and all the stories, and I'll promise you, both of them are really good to see. What's really great about this fortress right now is it dates back to the 14th century and currently is under restoration. They've started restoration in 2021, and by 2024, it will be all out, open after the restoration process. So it'll look much better. The thing is that it has been, it went through 2 earthquakes, and the building itself was a little bit shattered. And actually, we have to thank the pandemic that the authorities took the initiative and said, okay, I think it's time we restore this fortress to its former glory. So you will be one of the first people to actually see it the way it used to be during its glory days. Now, you see those 2 people impaled there? That's just a simulation. You'll find out more when you're at the location. And I think that we can move on to our next slide. Yes, you are here in Corvin's Castle. Now, from Poinar Fortress, we will make our way, first of all, to Sibiu. Now, Sibiu is one of the most important medieval cities in Romania. That's where we're going to spend our night. And on one of those days, we are actually going to make a day trip to Corvin's Castle. Now, Corvin's Castle is considered one of the most haunted castles in Europe. present. If you look at it right now, maybe the photo impresses you, maybe it doesn't, but the feeling that you get the moment you lay your eyes upon this castle is unlike any other I've ever experienced, because it's huge and it looks exactly like fairy tale castle or like Hogwarts, or like that castle that all of us dreamed of when we think of castle. It's a true medieval castle. People say that Vlad the Impaler was also imprisoned here in this castle. Of course, because it has hundreds of years of history, we will go through everything together, and you'll find out plenty of other stories, not just about Vlad the Impaler. After we visit Corvin's castle, we'll make our way back to Sibiu, where, not just yet, back to Sibiu, where we will enjoy a walking tour of the old town, and just enjoy the feel of a medieval town in Romania, in Transylvania, because at this point we are in Transylvania officially. Now, we can move on to the next slide. I'm not a good slide mover. That's okay. After Sibiu, we'll make our way to another very important location in Romania, and that's Sighișoara. Now, Sighișoara is one of the last medieval citadels still inhabited for hundreds of years in Europe. Now, you've probably heard of other medieval citadels like Carcassonne in France, right? It's part of the UNESCO World Heritage, similar to Sighișoara. Sighișoara is also part of the UNESCO World Heritage, and I've just read an article the other day. I don't remember the publication, but I can come back with it. 18 top medieval citadels that you have to see in Europe right now, and Sighișoara was part of this top in Europe, so it's quite important. And we will spend our night here, and we will do a walking tour of the cobblestone. It's an amazing. A lot of people consider it a very romantic destination. It's because of the very narrow streets, cobblestone paved streets, very colorful houses. This is a Transylvanian Saxon heritage citadel, and you will enjoy discovering it. Now, of course, what might be important to you is also that historians think that this is Vlad the Impaler's birthplace. So we actually are going to see the house where Vlad the Impaler was born. Now, of course, I didn't add a photo of this in here, just because I don't want to spoil any surprises. But yes, you will be one of the people that will get to see the house and inside of the house. Now, Mara, I think we can move to the next slide. After Sighișoara, yes, we will make our way in through the village of Viscri. Now, I know maybe you're thinking, why a village? That's because Transylvania and Romania is, most apart from being the home of Dracula's castle, is also known for the Transylvanian highlands and for their villages, such as this one that you're looking at, with fortified churches that are part of the UNESCO World Heritage, that are also hundreds of years old. For example, the church that you're looking at right now is 700 years old. And a lot of people come here for the rural landscape that has barely changed in the last hundreds of years. So let's say visitors from other countries, more developed countries, come here to still discover how village life used to look like, let's say 100 years ago. And Viscri is one of those villages. It's so popular, and it became popular due to Prince Charles, which is now King Charles. When he, at the beginning of the 1990s, he came to Transylvania. He likes botanics a lot, and he was fascinated by this land. So he purchased a guest house in this village. And after he purchased it and turned it in his house into a guest house, a lot more people started coming back to the village and restored their authentic traditions. And now the village has become much more popular for the visit to this fortified church and to just relax, sit back, and enjoy a home-cooked, farm-to-table feast. Of course, in Transylvania, farm-to-table is not that fancy term that maybe Michelin star restaurants want to sell, which is also correct. What we are doing is pretty much reenacting our own traditions. We are used to producing what we eat. And especially in villages like this, you will eat whatever they produce in their own garden, in their own backyard, with their own farm animals, and so on. So that's what we're going to do in Viskri as well. We're going to enjoy a home-cooked feast, which is also included in your package. Now, after Viskri, we will make our way to Brasov, which is the second medieval town of Transylvania, where we are going to make our base for seeing the surroundings. Now, you have a photo, too much. Now, you have a photo in front of, okay, one more. There you go, a photo of Bran Castle, which is actually what most people know as Dracula's castle. So from Brasov, we will, first of all, we'll start our day with the walking tour of Brasov. And in the evening, we're going to make our way to Bran Castle to attend the Halloween party, right? Because Halloween party will be on the 27th. No, on the 26th. I'm sorry, I need to check the calendar. It'll be on the 26th of October. It's always celebrated the Saturday before the actual day of the Halloween. They only do one Halloween party a year, so you want to be here for that. They don't do 2 or 3 or 4 Halloween parties at Bran Castle around Halloween. So this is your only chance. And we have the whole package included. So Halloween party at Bran. The whole activity is very extensive. You can enjoy a gourmet vampire dinner, which is, they have their own restaurant, which is a former building of the castle. It's the castle's restaurant today, and only people that have this part of their package can attend the dinner, and it's a fine dining style, 4-course vampire-inspired dinner. Then we have a night walking tour of Bran Castle with either me or Vlad, or to both of us, and we are all going to be dressed for Halloween. You heard that right. Like, there's no attendance of Halloween party at Bran Castle without a proper costume, and we will be wearing proper costumes. So we will be going inside Bran Castle after 9 p.m. and do a tour of the narrow corridors of the rooms, which are decorated for Halloween. It's something that you don't see every day. You only see this time of year, and it's a very, very, very unique experience to have. Really, I think it's one of those bucket list experiences to do at least once in your lifetime. And after we do the walking tour, the night walking tour of Bran Castle, we will attend the Halloween party in the tents that are set up in the castle's courtyards. So the organizers of the party bring out really, really large tents. They are tents that are completely covered on all sides. They have a DJ, they have bars. So yeah, everyone just has fun after midnight, so to say, and the party goes on until 6 a.m. in the morning. You are free to stay as long as you want. And after the Halloween party, we will go and you're free to come back at your hotel whenever you want, because the accommodation will be in Bran, in the village of Bran, steps away, walking distance from Bran Castle. So no limit on the party tonight. And this will be the end of day 6. And then on day 7, we are making our way back to Bucharest. On our way back to Bucharest, we cannot let you go without seeing the 3rd most important castle in Romania, and that's Peles Castle, which by its function is actually a palace, used to belong to the former royal family of Romania, and it is full still of the king's collections inside. So unlike any other castles that I've seen in Europe, and I'm not saying this just because I'm Romanian, it's one of the most impressive castles because most of the interior furniture collections and everything is still in there. So you're actually feeling like you're visiting someone, unlike other castles which have been much more developed countries, and they have much more developed tourism and so on, where the furniture is kind of like you see a chair and a bed here and there. This is a full-on experience, so not to be missed. And that's where we'll stop on our way to Bucharest. After Peles, we'll make our way to the hotel in Bucharest. We check in, and we invite you for the farewell dinner. And after the farewell dinner, where a bunch of surprises await for you, we don't want to give anything out, but I can tell you that it's one of the best. We normally choose one of the best restaurants in Bucharest for this. The next day, it's departure day, when you will be transferred by private transfer, of course, from Bucharest to Giurgiu, where you will start your river cruise.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Georgiana. I am so sorry that I am such a bad slide mover. Every time my mouse touched the monitor, it would just move the slides left and right. And I was desperately trying to get to my notes, which it wasn't happening. So this is why I leave the virtual tours over to the guides and they run their slides, because I apparently am not very good at it. But I will note that for the Halloween party, I don't know about you, there's several people that I've seen in the chat that are already signed up for this tour, but I know me, I already have my costume figured out. Now I haven't put it together yet, but I certainly have it figured out. And I think it's an interesting, it's an interesting dilemma because the costume has to be almost a little bit creepy, a little haunted, not exactly like, the rubber ducky or the M&M you might dress in the United States, but more like a little bit ghoulish or more haunted. So
I agree.
I know you had a great costume this year, so you'll have to come up with an even greater costume for when we're there.
I have 2 years to figure something out.
Exactly. So with that, thank you so very much. I know it's extremely late. I don't even want to ask what time it is. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 1. I don't know, but
1:30.
It's 1:30. So yeah, so it's very
Between
late.
1 and 2.
I really appreciate you coming on, and I know that your presence really helped us understand better the Romanian land tour. So without more hesitation on my part, I'm going to move into the Amawaterways, where I'm going to introduce you to my partner in crime over at Ama, Kathy DiVincenzo, and Kathy is going to join us today by explaining what the part of the river cruise is going to be like. And I'll just say from my experience that, I feel very special when I travel on an Amawaterways river cruise, because it is, for me, very luxurious, high end. The service is wonderful. So I hope that through Kathy's explanations of her company and through my endorsement, you'll understand why we choose Ama when we're on the rivers. Welcome, Kathy.
Well, thank you, Mara. It's wonderful to be here. And Georgine, I loved your presentation. And a little footnote, I have a lot of colleagues from Romania, and they always say when you mention Romania, you have to say the most beautiful girls in the world come from Romania. So it was lovely. But nonetheless, I'm going to explain to everyone why Amawaterways is the highest rated luxury brand of river cruising and what we include, and just a little bit of background about the company. So Ms. Vanna White, can you advance the screen? Ama is a family-owned company. We've been in business since 2002. Rita Schreiner is our president and founder. His wife is another co-founder, and Gary Murphy. Next slide, please. Now, some of the things that make Amawaterways so special is the seamless travel experience. So your cruise manager is going to be with you all the way. We're going to take care of everything. We have great innovations on our ships. We have unparalleled food and service, as Mara had mentioned. We essentially double your time. Now, this is what the ship's lobby is going to look like when you come aboard. So it's granite and marble and just very elegant without being overstated. Now, this is our lounge, and this is where the action happens on the ship. So the lounge is kind of like the heart of the ship. Do you know what the most popular thing is in the lounge? And I know Mara knows this answer. It's the barista machine. And it's fresh ground coffee 24/7. Everybody loves playing with the machine. All the seating is done in country club casual. Every night there's a show here in the lounge. We also have food in the lounge. We'll have a continental breakfast, then we'll put food out. This is the lounge area. And we like to say we're inclusive, but not all inclusive. So what that means is we want to make it fair for those folks who aren't drinking. So what we do is we have champagne at breakfast, beer and wine at lunch and dinner, and it's only fine wine. And the whole hour before dinner is an open bar cocktail hour. So as a result, now I like lemon drop martinis. So you're going to be able to choose from menus that are put throughout the lounge. And for that whole hour, it will be included. So afterwards, drinks are about $5 a mixed drink. Beer is about $3.80. And you can see by the picture, the folks are enjoying the cocktail hour. And it's hard to buy extra drinks over what we already include. So when you compare us with our all-inclusive competitors, you're going to see the value that we bring by doing this. Now, I mentioned entertainment. So every night there's going to be a show that's indigenous to the destination. We have a group that's a string quartet called La Strada. They go from ship to ship. They're absolutely fabulous. You might get singers, dancers, opera stars, ballerinas, and every night there will be a show. And after the show, there'll be a musician, and everybody loves to get up and dance on Amawaterways. This is the lounge or the library area, and it's a little quiet getaway. I like to duck in here and do my crossword puzzles. There's 2 cozy fireplaces and books and games. And we like to keep everybody connected. So what we have is 5G capability, and it's included. There's no extra charge for this. So every cabin's going to have a flat screen TV. You'll get first run movies, music, cable. We're going to give you a keyboard to go online. And besides that, we still want you to keep connected. We have an AmaCruiser app that's going to tell you where you are, the weather, all kinds of destination information. And we're going to give you postcards, and we're going to stamp them for you. So all of this is included at no extra cost. Now, we do have a spa, and we have a beauty salon. You can make your appointments when you come on board. This is a small additional fee, but you might want to indulge in this luxury. Then we have a gym on every ship, and I love to work out. So I like to eat our food because it's fabulous. So I like to work out so I can eat more and stay in shape. Now we have a heated pool with a swim up pool bar, and people love our pool. So don't forget to bring your bathing suits. We keep the pool nice and warm so you don't have to worry about being in the pool in October, because it will be at 90 degrees. So you'll be able to enjoy it. It's a lot bigger in person than it is in the picture. And there's a swim up pool bar. Now, in the vein of keeping in shape, we have an exercise person on every ship. We start every day at 7 a.m. with champagne yoga, and the classes go throughout the day in half-an-hour intervals, so you'll know where it is, what time it is, and what we're doing by your AmaCruiser app. And our exercise scientists will also give some lectures on wellness and healthy eating. And we mentioned dining, and Mara and I both mentioned this. So what we have is what's called Chandon Rotisserie cuisine. That's the French equivalent of a Michelin chef. All the food is brought on fresh every single day. Now, you don't have to worry if you have food allergies. Just let Mara know. She'll put it in your reservation. And when you come on board, you'll meet with the chef, and every day you'll get your own customized menu choices. We do apologize to our Jewish travelers. We do not do kosher because the kitchen is too small for 2 fridges, 2 stoves, and 2 dishwashers. The main dining room is an experience. It's menu service for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then outside the dining room are 2 little wine nooks. There's no cost for these. It's the same menu as in the main dining room. They're great for parties and birthdays and anniversaries, or if your friends are a little loud like mine. Then we have this really extremely fabulous experience. It's called the Chef's Table. This is an alternate dining, multi-course wine paired dinner. The chef does the whole presentation behind glass. It's very pristine. And guess what? It has no cost. If you can get additional reservations here, it's still at no extra cost. So this is an experience you never want to miss on Amawaterways. Now, another great thing that we offer is a tour in the morning and a tour in the afternoon, where our competitors only offer a morning tour. And the main tour in the morning and the afternoon is going to come in fast walkers, medium walkers, gentle walkers, and late risers. We're also going to be hiking and biking tours and special edition tours. With the bikes, a crew member goes out in the front and the back. We give you helmets, and it's wonderful to bike along the river, and again, a great experience, and you can stay in shape. Now, the tour on this river is spectacular. I had the pleasure of doing this in August. This is our longest itinerary at over 800 miles. So we're going to board the ship in Georgiou and go north all the way to Budapest. So you'll board the ship in Giurgiu, but because we're parked right in the heart of the downtown, it's easy on, easy off. So you can go into the town after you leave your luggage on the ship and meander around, but we want you to be back for happy hour. Now, we mentioned Bucharest, and from Georgine's presentation, I think I've been pronouncing it wrong. So I did understand that you said it. And again, you're going to see this lovely building again in the city of Bucharest. Am I correct now, Georgine?
In English, yes. If you want to go Romanian, it's București.
Bucharest. Okay, thank you. So we're going to visit the city. Your tour guides will take you around on one of the many tours that you're offered. And our next city will be Belgradić, and I climbed the Belgradić fortress. And I have to tell you, we have some other tours to pick from, but this was an experience. And we went up in different levels. We got to the top and we saw a 360-degree scenic vista, and it was fabulous. Now, not everybody made it to the top. There's little stops along the way, so you can stop wherever you like, take pictures, wait for the rest of the group to come down. But again, this was a wonderful tour and we really loved it. Now, Rusei, again, another great city in Bulgaria that you'll have your tours in the morning and tours in the afternoon to choose from. And then we have Velika Ternova in Bulgaria. You can see the old gates to the city that date back into the ancient Roman Empire. And again, it's just a walk back into time. And the Baba Vita Fortress is in Bulgaria. We toured this fortress, and again, it's right on the edge of the water. There's a whole park all the way around the fortress, and you go through some little labyrinths and pop up in different parts of the fortress, but it's just so neat. The walk to the fortress, we saw so many different parts of the city that were just absolutely lovely. Very easy walk, but again, one of the highlights of our tour. Now, Vidin was a city that the Russians created as the yogurt capital of Europe, and yogurt's a very popular food group here. And again, there's a whole lot of different things that we saw in the city. You can see the fortress nearby. And again, a lovely city to walk around, very welcoming, a lot of little restaurants and bars and shops to visit. Now, this is the highlight of your cruise, and it's the Iron Gates. You'll sail through the Iron Gates, and just, it takes a few hours, but it's one scenic vista after the other. We have a picnic on the top, and you'll be in Serbia on one side and Romania on the other. And this is the statue of King Decabal. And it looks like a really old statue, although it's not really that old, but everything along the way will have ancient Roman artifacts and different Roman things that you'll be able to pick up. There's some caves to visit, and you'll see all of this while you're having your picnic on the top deck. Now, this is another fun stop. It was called the Golubek Fortress, and this is at the top of the Iron Gates. And again, a great opportunity to climb as much as you like or as little. There's gardens all around. The ship docks not very far from the fortress. So we walked up, there's a museum area, and we walked up through the fortress. You could have walked more than we did. So you can do as much as you want or as little. Some folks climbed all the way to the top. So again, it's just so pretty. There's so many little pretty flowers along the way in this area as well. Now, the Royal Palace of Serbia. And you might even get to see a member of the royal family. And again, we toured this, and at one point it was taken over by Tito, and we saw the rooms where he held his meetings, but now the royal family lives here, and it was returned to them, and just absolutely pristine and beautiful. We tasted a few wines while we were in the royal palace. Downstairs, we saw the game room and the movie theater. And again, just going through the palace, it was beautiful. And there's a little chapel that goes with the palace. And when you see it with a little chapel in the communist takeover, there's a couple bullet holes in the ceiling that they'll tell you the story. I don't want to ruin the surprise. So Scaldera Street in Serbia is also a big highlight. Now, this is where musicians will meet. They have little hot dogs that are famous here and great salads, and it's very, very inexpensive. Your cruise manager can make you a dinner reservation, and quite honestly, walking through the city of Belgrade, you'll visit so many different modern places, so many places that are a walk back in time. This is one of the fun action-packed places of this great city. Now, St. Sava Church is another highlight that you're going to want to visit while you're here. But what we did in Belgrade is we had the ship docked right in the heart of the town. And after dinner, my husband and I got a glass of wine and we sat in the pool and listened to the music coming from the restaurants and bars. Now, Novi Sad is considered the Athens of Serbia. So again, there's so many great spots that you can see on this itinerary and just so much history and culture. There's a lot of flora and fauna on this as well. Now, the Petrovian Fortress was another highlight. We stopped for a little refreshments before we went into the fortress, and we traversed all of these mazes through the fortress. And again, we learned a lot of history and culture while we were there, and we had a nice hike. It was really a neat experience. Now, the Eltz Castle was given to the country. It was owned privately by royalty, and now you can tour the castle. It's in Vukovar, Croatia. So again, another great stop along the way. Now, Pécs is another great city where you're going to see a lot of different religions, and you'll see Jewish and Christian religions side by side, and you'll see a mosque. So you're going to see, besides the great city, you're going to see a whole lot of different religious culture. And you're going to end in my favorite city, Budapest. Budapest never disappoints. Every time we go, we find something new. There's the Buda and the Pest side. This is the Parliament building that's lit up at night. It's glorious. We love the Buda Castle, and we love to go to the Buda Castle late at night because that's where they had Vlad the Impaler after they captured him. So you go there at night with little lanterns and you traverse the underneath of the castle. During the day, we have a castle tour that's included, but little things that you can find in Budapest. And you're going to see the city, it's like a half circle. It's a monument to all of the heroes of Budapest. We even stopped at the baths this time. So there's so much to do. Your cruise manager will give you the explanation of the tours we're going to include, but you can also venture off a little bit on your own because it's a very easy city. And here's some little dabs of local culture. And these are pictures from one of my colleagues in traditional Romanian dress. And I hope you're smiling. And this is where she always says that we tell everybody about the beautiful Romanian girls. And then we have our Romanian culture. So we're going to have Romanian and Serbian food. And this is from the barbecue that we have on the top deck when we go through the iron gates. They're famous for these delightful sausages. And some pastries, of course. No trip is a trip without pastries. Now, we're going to have great pastries on the ship, but you'll be able to have some great pastries in these great little cities as well. Now, we are sailing this year. We sailed last year, and we are no longer requiring vaccines. Our crew are wearing masks. We do no touch temperature checks if someone is feeling ill. We have our tours down to between 10 and 15 people, and we are socially distancing. We sanitize all luggage before it's brought on board. Every cabin's heating and air conditioning system has its own outside air coming in. You have your own system. It's not something that has recycled air. The lounge and the dining room have a similar situation, but it's just a larger scale. So with that, we could change the system with the vaccine. So you have to keep updated. We just right now have gone to no vaccines. If you don't have a vaccine, you are required to have a 48-hour negative COVID test prior to boarding or a 60-day recovery.
Okay, you want to dive into our actual cabins and what we're offering on the ship of the Amabella?
You were going to do that, but I am more than happy to. So we have,
Either way, you do it. You're on a roll.
oh, well, thank you, dear. Well, we have a myriad of cabins. The D&E cabins are on our lower deck, and they're quite spacious. They are all above water. They have 2 picture windows. So again, very nice. Then we have the C category, and that is our French balcony cabins. Those are 170 square feet. It has a sliding glass door. It is not a step out balcony, but it makes it feel like the cabin is extending into the scenery. The BB, BA, and AB cabins are all twin balcony cabins, as are the AA and the suite. Now, with that, a twin balcony cabin is a real balcony with a French balcony in the sunroom next to it. These range from 210 to 235 square feet, and they are just spacious. This would be the category D and E with the fixed window. This is the category size my husband and I are always in, and he's a big guy. They're very spacious, and if somebody wants the beds separated, there's plenty of room to walk around the beds.
Yeah, and that's an easy thing. I'll jump in there because these beds, you don't need a cabin that's a twin or a double. They're both either. So if you choose to have 2 beds split apart, they split them apart. If you have them together, they put them together. We put all of that in your profile ahead of time. So when you arrive in your cabin, it's suited for you, whether you're there with a friend or there with a spouse or a partner, it's all good. Just note that there are no more E cabins. They are all sold out already. So our only cabin in this level is the D cabin, and I don't think we have that many of them left, but I think I have a spreadsheet towards the end that I'll show you that has the availability of each. And I did share, I just want to say I did share in the chat the booking link if you are so inclined to book while we're on this Zoom event. I will be doing one more little wheel winning at the end, and that would be for anybody who books while we're doing this event. So it's a little extra special thing. No pressure, of course, but incentive. Back to you, Kathy.
No worries. And I loved your prizes. I personally have a weight scale, and I don't leave home without it. For the luggage, not for myself. Now, this is the French balcony cabin that I mentioned. They're 170 square feet. And again, you can see that sliding glass door that will open, and it is not a step out balcony, but it just makes the cabin feel so much more spacious. Now, this is our twin balcony. And as I was mentioning, it's a real balcony with a French balcony in the sunroom. You can sit out on the 2 chairs and table and safely watch the scenery go by with your cup of coffee or your glass of wine or whatever you want, but it's just spectacular. And these are the BBs, and the BAs are 210 square feet. When you go up to the ABs, they go up to 235 square feet.
I just want to jump in here too, because one of the things I've noticed that is notable for travelers is the bathroom configuration. You'll notice on this, when you get to the B level, the bathrooms are they're rectangular with a larger shower. And I'm just going to go back to show you the C, where the shower is a triangular shape. And I know just from touring them and being in them, it does feel a little bit different. So if you are one that wants a more spacious bathroom, you'll want to go up to that B level or higher.
Absolutely. And the bathrooms do have amenities in them. Now, this is the AA and the AB, where it's 235 square feet. So if you feel like you need a little bit of room, you can go up to that. Now, something that I want to mention too is all of the cabins have a refrigerator in them, and we give you unlimited water. Now, the suites are limited, and suites go fast. So if someone wants them, please let Myra know quickly. There are only 5 available. They're 350 square feet. With the suites, you get butler service. The butler will bring fresh flowers, fruit, champagne, and again, a little bit more elbow room. And the suites all have a soaker tub. You'll get that nice twin balcony in these cabins as well.
Okay, this is the spreadsheet that I was boasting about. This is really for those of you who are traveling with a friend or a partner or a spouse. These are the double room, and feel free to take out your cell phone and give a little, capture it on your camera. But essentially, all of these prices already reflect the $750 off sale that we are putting on right now through the end of the year. This is the Black Friday Forever Friday sale. I think Black Friday has turned into Black Fall for most people at this point, because it just has been extended on and on and on. So you'll see there's two columns. There's a double price for the cruise only, and then there's a double price for the cruise and Romania. So you just make note, if you're doing both the land and the sea tour, or the land and the river tour, it's the column in the middle, and all of them already have the discounts applied. Again, I'll make another statement that the E-cabins are already gone. The D-cabins are decreasing slowly. So just note that if you do want to get into a cabin that's a lower end cabin, they are filling fast. So you'll know, and like Kathy said, the suites also fill up. So I don't know why, but I guess because they have the lowest inventory, the suites and the fixed windows go first, and then the B's and the C's and the A's kind of go after that. But please know that that's it. I just want to make a note that these are the prices that are not inclusive of air, insurance, or the Budapest land option, which is a 2-day tour afterwards if you're so inclined to extend that. And when you sign up, you'll see that that is something you can choose on the sign up, and I'll be in touch with you about that additional option. The air, why it's not included, it can absolutely be added to the package. However, airfare is not available until 11 months out. So at that time, we can add it to the package if you would like to add it to the AMA package, or it can be done on your own. It's absolutely up to you, and it's your choice. This is the same type of spreadsheet for the single or solo travelers. If you prefer a single room, take a picture of this one. These are your prices. And certainly if you are a solo traveler and you choose to have a roommate and you don't know somebody to travel with, please let me know, because there are other people in your same situation and I can pair you with somebody. I just want to put out there that if that is to happen and we pair you with somebody and somebody cancels, you still would have to then pay the single supplement rate. So you just have to be mindful of that. But certainly that's something that we've done numerous times and it works out for many people. It's a good way to save costs and meet, and have a new friend and be able to travel at a price point that you may be more comfortable with. So Girl Travel Tours, what's our cruise package price include? It includes the 7-day cruise aboard the Amawaterways Amabella. That is for everyone. Everyone is buying at least the cruise package. If you choose to add the 7-day land package, that's an addition. You cannot do the land package without the cruise, but you can do the cruise without the land. The cruise package includes the 100% food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as Kathy explained, the drinks that are included, the excursions, morning and afternoon, the entertainment, the fitness, taxes, port charges, traveling with me, traveling with a dedicated cruise manager, and also a lot of Girl Travel Tours extras and bonuses, which I so enjoy gifting throughout a journey with you. So that leads us to the people who are so excited to come along on this journey with us, and how do you book it? I will say that Girl Travel Tours adds a lot of perks when we're on tour. So for example, one thing is I pay for all tour director and cruise manager gratuities. I give extras as we go along, whether that be an excursion or a dinner or something of that nature. But those are surprises other than the gratuities, which I've obviously just disclosed. You will be granted surprises along the way. I will do as good a job as I can to make this Halloween tour Halloweeny and have special, I guess, twists and turns along the way that will keep us guessing as to what is coming up next. So I think that will add a level of excitement to the journey. I did put a link in the chat, which I can't even do again because I can't access my notes or I'll lose the presentation. So just dial up on the chat and see that there is a booking link Oh, I might be able to copy it and actually paste it again. I don't know. It's not going to let me. Yes, it is. Okay, so I just shared it again. I actually am really good with technology. It's the dual screens, I swear. It just makes it very difficult for a PowerPoint presentation. So what does it take to book this tour? There are two components to it. There's a $400 cruise deposit that's due now and a $210 land deposit now. So that's essentially $610 deposit, and then travel insurance that needs to be booked at the time of booking. Usually travel insurance runs about 7.5% of your total investment. So depending on your cabin type and all of that, I can work with you to find out what that is and what that's going to cost. But what I normally do with people when we're booking a tour this far out is we only put a deposit down for the insurance to protect your deposit. And then as you pay your final balance, we increase the insurance to protect the whole investment. Quite honestly, I've learned that along the way, that to protect your whole investment 2 years before you're going to actually put it down seems a little bit misguided. So I think it's a little bit more fair to protect the investment that you put down with the deposit. And if I've confused you, I'd be happy to talk offline about it and explain what that means. The cancellation policy you see there, take a snapshot of it if you want, but essentially anywhere from now until 121 days out, you lose $200, and then the loss increases as you get closer to the cruise. And that's where if something were to happen that's medical or tragic or job loss or something of that nature, that's where the insurance comes into play, and you would file a claim to regain your investment there. Okay, so let us look, and I guess I'm going to have to go back to my notes and look to actually get the list of people who have booked this tour either tonight or before on the pre-sale days, and I'm going to put them into another drawing, and then we're going to do a little Q&A. So if you choose to book now during the Q&A, by all means do it. If not, take your time, reach out to me. But please know that even if you put your information through the booking form, I will personally connect with you before I run a credit card. By putting your credit card in the booking form, you're just giving it to me as a commitment to book, but I am not running it until I actually speak with you. So please know that happens. Let's go into the Q&A, because I know that there were a lot of questions along the way, and I really encourage you to put your questions into the chat, and Kathy and Georgiana and I can address them so that we can clear up anything that you might have in terms of a question before we sign off. So there were some questions about food allergies, sensitivities. I'll tell you a little story. I took a good friend of mine on the Amawaterways river cruise in April, and she not only has food allergies, but she has a sensitivity to almost everything out there. And we gave them a list, and no lie, it was 32 items on that list. And they just welcomed it with open arms. They had a meeting with her every morning. They planned her menu for her every day, and she had a special meal, just like we were getting our 5 and 4 course meals. She had her 4 and 5 course meals, but for food that she could actually eat, and it was delightful, palatable, and she really enjoyed it. So please know, from an Amawaterways perspective, you are completely covered. And I know, Georgiana, you could second that in saying that you guys do the same thing. If you have allergies or sensitivities to anything, the chefs know it. The restaurants know it, and you will not miss out on the experience of the cuisine because you have a food sensitivity or an allergy. Same thing with other allergies, like some people are allergic to feather pillows or whatever. It's all dealt with. It's fine. The one thing I will mention, though, because there was a question about this, is as the river cruise is much more accommodating to those that have a less active lifestyle, the land tour, you need to be able to climb steps to be on this land tour. You need to be able to walk on the land tour. So if you are doubting your mobility issues in terms of really like going out there for a 3-mile walk or something of that nature, perhaps just the river cruise is your cup of tea, where the land cruise, I will say that, you know, look at the fortresses. Fortresses come with steps. So I'm not saying that we're going to be climbing up 1,000 steps a day, but you do have to be able to navigate steps. You have to be able to walk some miles. You have to be able to walk on uneven pavement, which are cobblestones. So just know that those are some of the things that should be considered when you're considering which part or both of the package you want to do. So let's see, I don't see any more questions that I haven't addressed. If you see them, Kathy or Georgiana, please just jump in.
There's one that's very specific. It's Mark Bryson. I'm interested in my adult son might be able to come with me. If I book as a single, can I add him later and end up paying the regular 2-person cost if I do the reverse? So I think that's something that you can reply to, Mara.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you got it because I didn't see that. Yes, yes, and yes. You can absolutely sign up as a single now and then add somebody to your cabin or your room. Of course, that has a limited time, so we don't want to do that, you know, 30 days before the tour, but certainly we're far enough out that the flexibility is there. It is absolutely beneficial to save the cabin and save the spot because those will go away. And if you're looking at doing it that way, it's best to sign up as a single and convert to a double or a twin later. Yeah.
But Mara, as a footnote to that,
Mhm.
the second person that books into the cabin will book at the promotion that we have at the time when they book. You have that outstanding $750 per person discount. So if that goes away and they add the second person, they won't get it. So the encouragement is to book while we've got these great promotions.
Very smart to add that. I wasn't even thinking out. I was not thinking outside of the promotion at this point, but yes. So the promotion is good. I say to December 28th because I have to have you booked by the 30th. So for me, I'm giving myself a 2-day buffer because it's good till the end of the year. I need to be able to make sure everybody is booked, approved, and in by the 30th. So I'm giving everybody the 28th as the deadline for the $750 off. And that will go away. That's not something where Black Friday is going to go into 2023. That's going to go away. So that $750, it's a hefty promotion right now, and it will disappear. So good point, Kathy. Thank you for having my back on that one.
No worries. That's what friends do.
Yep. All right. So, all right. So go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
The person asked if they already booked, did they get the $750 off? Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It was already in your price, and I think that's Sunny. So yep, definitely already in your price. So it looks like we have some additions on people who have booked. So I'm going to copy the people into the little wheel. Let's see if I can do this and you guys keep seeing the screen at the same time. If we have no more questions, I'm going to go into the.
There were a few other questions that I can answer in 1 minute. There's one about, will we have the same driver throughout our entire time in Romania? Yes, for the land tour, you will have the same driver. It's a separate driver. It's not a driver guide. So guide a separate driver. Yes, it'll be the same.
And then how many guests on the cruise? 168 max, correct, Kathy? But obviously if we have singles, that number goes down.
Actually, the ship holds 164.
164, sorry. So 164, but it will go down because of the singles, because I already have a few singles booked. So it'll be a little less than that.
And that ship was just redone. So it's completely a brand new ship, essentially. They brought it down to the steel and rebuilt it.
And the pictures that I put in to show the cabins, that is the Amabella. I saw that was a question in there as well. So I did get pictures of the Amabella when I made the slides. So you are seeing, you're seeing the Amabella in the cabin pictures. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with the wheel. And I'm going to do full screen. We'll see if I can do it. And I'll click the spin, and this is the person who's winning the €100, and you'll get this upon arrival at the tour. And it looks like it's Martha. Congratulations, Martha. You just saved another €100 on your tour. That's awesome. And let's see if I can take this off. So I'm going to stop sharing so you'll see the three of us, because honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing with this thing. Do you see the three of us? Yes. So this is stopped. So I want to thank everybody for coming. Firstly, I want to thank Georgiana for being here in the middle of the night. I want to thank Kathy for giving us her time as well. And I want to thank everybody else for coming out today. I will follow up with an email with specifics on how you can look at the itineraries, how you can digest this material. Please don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call me. Ask me questions. I will take the time to make sure that you are comfortable. You know, I know that I just forced a little booking with the drawing, but that's just all in fun. You know, take the time you need. You have another month to figure out whether this is for you or not. And I can help you guide you through those answers if you need to. So thank you again for everybody. I'm going to say good night or goodbye and take care. And thank you again, Kathy and Georgiana. It was so nice to see you again. Take care.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Night.